SQL, or Structured Query Language, is a language that allows computer applications to add, edit, and delete data from a database. Whenever your application interacts with a database, it does so by constructing an SQL query. You don't need to learn SQL because ASP.NET provides classes which generate SQL for you. To begin this lesson, open the My Project sample file from your Sample Files folder. We are now going to add a new SQL database to the project. First, right-click on My Project in the Solution Explorer and click Add, New Item. Now click Data in the panel on the left and click SQL Server Database in the central panel. Name the database mydatabase.mdf. And click Add. You're prompted to place the new database in the app_data folder of the site rather than the main folder. Click Yes. The app_data folder is a special folder which ASP.NET assumes will contain any databases used by the project. If you right-click in the Solution Explorer and click Add ASP.NET folder, you can see that there are a number of other special ASP.NET folders which are expected to contain certain things. For now, the app_data folder is the only one that is important. You have now added a new database to your project. Of course, it is completely empty. In a typical work environment, database design is done by a specialized team member called a DBA, or Database Administrator. Most ASP.NET programmers do not have database design skills, but have the skills needed to access data from a database. If you are interested in database design, there are many books on this subject. You don't need any database design skills to complete this course, as sample databases are provided to work with. Note that Visual Studio is capable of working with any type of SQL-compliant database. Visual Studio works best with Microsoft's SQL Server database product, but it is entirely possible to use other database types such as Access, Oracle, and MySQL. The free Express version of SQL Server was automatically installed on your machine when you installed Visual Studio. Next, we're going to open the Spark sample file from your Sample Files folder. The Spark project already has its own database, named spark.mdf. We're going to view the spark.mdf database now. First, expand the app_data folder in the Solution Explorer and double-click spark.mdf. After a short delay, you are transferred to the Database Explorer window. The Database Explorer appears in the same area as the Solution Explorer. You can switch back to the Solution Explorer by clicking on the tab at the bottom of the window. Next, expand the Tables folder in the Database Explorer. As you can see, the Spark database contains the customer and invoice tables. Tables are the containers that databases use to store their data. Database tables are similar to spreadsheets, as they contain tables of information divided into rows and columns. Next, we're going to view the contents of the customer table. To do this, right-click the customer table and click Show Table Data from the shortcut menu. After a few seconds, the contents of the table appear in the central panel of Visual Studio. Note that you're able to edit the data in this table by simply changing the values in the cells. It's important to note that you probably won't always have your database available as part of your website. Most companies have a separate database server. You can connect to another server by right-clicking on Data Connections in the Database Explorer and then clicking Add Connection from the shortcut menu. It's unfortunately not possible to demonstrate connecting to a remote server, as you probably don't have a remote server to connect to. The person who owns the server should be able to give you the settings you need to connect to it. Database connection settings are stored in web.config. All of the techniques you will learn in this course work in an identical way with a remote database. You've now completed Lesson 10.1, Work with SQL Databases in Visual Studio.